But this is the 2024 most anticipated games coming out. Well, actually, the title is the biggest games coming out in 2024, but we'll see. Let's see what it is about. I mean, I hope it's good. Like, I am looking forward to GTA 5. That's for sure.
2023 was heralded as the biggest year in the history of video games to ever video game a game of videos, and as that incoherent word salad might suggest,
is that loud?
It was a busy year for us here at IGN.
I can't tell if that's loud on
shaping up to have
stream.
quite a few big releases as
That's
well
kind of
to
loud,
keep
huh?
you from finishing your 2023 backlog that you piled
bit.
up because you were so busy tormenting Koroks and trying to get to second base with Shadowheart. Anyway, here are some of 2024's
Yo, Tyler, welcome
upcoming
in.
games. Check it out.
How's it going? How's it going? I'm eating still, so we're just watching this video. 2024's biggest games coming out.
As weather forecast
How's your
at
day
this
going?
point, so it's possible, if not likely, that a few of these get delayed or otherwise shuffled around. Also, this is by no means a comprehensive list of everything coming out in 2024. It is just a handful of games that we thought you might like to have on your radar. If something that you're
some
excited
rice
about personally
balls
didn't
with,
make the cut, I swear it has it's
Chinese
nothing
rice
personal
balls that my
or
mom made.
political or weird or sinister
It's
or
like got meat in
Machiavellian.
it, you got like egg.
We can only talk about so many
got
games
peanuts,
before our
sticky
video
rice.
editor dies of exhaustion.
Oh my god, I almost died.
I'm gonna hydrate.
I almost died. That was so scary. Thank you.
It's okay. It's alright. It's alright. If you want a more thorough roundup, every month we put up a new video detailing that month's upcoming releases, so keep an eye out for that every month, around the time rent's due, maybe. That January one is already up, so go watch that once you're done with this. If you're sitting around checking your Enchanted Hourglass waiting on that Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, good news, Ubisoft whipped up a nice 2.5D Prince of Persia Metroidvania to hold you over. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown goes back to the series side with some modern twists. That's out for basically
Let me know if
January 18th.
the video is loud enough.
On January 26th, hot on the heels of last year's new installments of beloved fighting games Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, Tekken enters the fray with its 8th entry, which is putting those new-gen consoles through their paces and really showing what Unreal 5 can do. That's on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. That same day on new gen and PC, as well as last gen, is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. That's a really expensive way of saying Yakuza 8, though the series has officially rebranded to its Japanese name, kind of like how Dragon Quest was Dragon Warrior in the West for decades, and then they finally made the switch to Dragon Quest worldwide. Anyway, notable Dragon Quest player Ichiban Kasuga returns for another wacky hero's journey, and this time he's teaming up with semi-pro pocket circuit racer and UFO catcher enthusiast Kazuma, who you may
probably
recognize from,
GTA
like, the
6
last
if it
9
comes out,
Yakuza
but
games. Or maybe
I
not.
would need a
He has new
console, so
haircut.
I'm
Who knows?
considering
So
buying
mysterious.
a console
As
just
you
to
probably
play
heard
it.
by now, the Arkham architects over at Rocksteady are ditching the Dark Knight and trying their hand at a co-op looter shooter starring Task Force X, better known as the Suicide Squad.
Wait, it's a
Squad's
looter
mission?
shooter? I've heard
Kill
this,
the
but I didn't know it was a
Justice
looter
League.
shooter. That
Name
was
of
pretty
this
good.
game, the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. You probably could have put that one together. The release date, February 2nd for new gen and PC. That same day, if you missed
There's not
Persona
going to be a
3
PC
when it was
release.
on PS2,
For
and then on
GTA
PSP,
6,
and then later
they're
playable
probably
on
going to
PS
release
Vita.
it
Well,
later,
first of
just like
all,
how
shame on
GTA
you, but second
5
of all, good news
came to
because it's
PC
been fully
later.
rebuilt as a new modern
Yo, Veluxy,
console
welcome
RPG,
in.
and it's coming to
Good to see you. It's been a
everything but
while.
Switch,
What are you
sad
eating? I'm
because
eating
the
some
Switch is the
Chinese
closest thing
sticky
we have
rice
anymore to a
ball
PSP
things.
or a Vita. Who knows? Maybe they'll port it. The original Helldivers was a tough as nails top-down
But yeah,
co-op
Happy New
twin-stick
Year's,
shooter
Veluxy.
about
How you doing?
zapping aliens on other planets, and the sequel takes the core gameplay loop
Happy
but
New Year's, Happy
reinvents
New
it from a
Year's.
third-person perspective, adding quite a bit of scale and complexity to the missions and wearing its Starship Troopers influences even more
Helldivers
proudly on its
2.
sleeve. Would you like to know more? Well, it hits PS5 and PC on February 8th. So
Guys,
there you go.
ads
One
incoming.
game
Just a
that has
heads
been in the
up.
works for quite a while is Skull and Bones. What began as a spin-off of Assassin's Creed Black Flag's naval combat has been delayed something
I went
like
to Florida.
7
Not sure if
times,
I told you or
pardon me
not.
if I'm
No, you did
skeptical
not.
that
You
this
tell
game
me
will
nothing,
actually come out
Veluxy,
on
and I
February
cry
16th.
every night.
That's what they're saying this time, and that's on new gen, PC, and Amazon Luna.
But how was
on
Florida?
the 29th, Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, and company are back, joined by quite a few familiar faces,
Wow,
and now they're
fast.
turned
Let's
loose in a
go.
massive, sprawling, open world and infinitely more detailed recreation of the
Wow.
original FF7's overworld map, which you can travel around by Chocobo or on a Segway if you so desire. FF7 Remake was an incredibly ambitious start, and it sounds like Rebirth is going to be a
Disney and
substantially
Universal. It
larger
was fun.
undertaking
I've
in
never
all
gone.
the best ways.
I think it's
Homeworld
too
3
late
is
for
the
me.
long overdue follow-up to a beloved deep space strategy game that
I think
was
I have to have a
released over
family
20
first and
years
then
ago.
go.
On March 8th, this franchise emerges from cryosleep on PC, so here's hoping it can adapt to life in the 2020s.
Homeworld.
On March 20th, one of the great grandpappies of survival horror gets a new installment. At a glance,
Wow.
Alone in the Dark might seem like another remake along the lines of what Dead Space and Resident Evil did recently, but it's being framed as a revival, which is fitting given the Southern Gothic themes.
Go by
It's
yourself?
telling a whole new story, but longtime fans
Yeah,
will
but
likely
I don't
get
wanna
some
wait
déjà
in line
vu
by
as it is
myself.
set in Tercetto Manor, where the original 1992 game took place. On March 22nd, Dragon's Dogma
Wait.
2 drops.
That kind of
The
gave
original
like
1990.
Resident Evil
But
4
longtime
vibes.
fans will likely get some deja vu as it is set in Tercetto Manor, where the original
Yo, Marzi,
1992
welcome
game
in.
took place. On March 22nd, Dragon's Dogma
How's
2
it going, my man?
drops, the feverishly anticipated sequel to Capcom's criminally underrated open
You'll
world
love
action
Universal
RPG.
because of the Harry Potter
This is
world.
the same kind of extremely vocal fan base that Demon Souls did before FromSoft dropped Dark Souls, and it blew up so big it inspired a whole.
I don't know if I've already said it or you guys know the answer, but do you guys know what house I'm in?
But it'll probably click with Elden Ring fans dying for a
Good to hear. How are you?
strong
I'm doing
Western
great.
fantasy
I'm doing
action
great.
RPG
I'm
with
being
crunchy boss
productive.
fights. Meanwhile, if you're ready to commit
Today was a very
Sony and
productive
Sucker
day.
Punch have been Shinobi silent regarding the next Ghost of Tsushima, Rise of the Ronin
Literally
might
went to the
hold you
gym
over,
and
this will
then
likely click with anti
straight
Soulsborne
to
fans as
editing
well.
on
The PS5
some
exclusive
stuff.
open world action RPG comes
So,
courtesy of Team Ninja, the
you know,
studio behind last year's
trying to get better, trying to get better this year. 2023 was a better year than 2024. Oh god, we're on ads.
And probably considerably less punishing than those last two games.
I'll
There's
wait.
Princess Peach Showtime. Mario's Mushroom Matriarch takes the spotlight in a long overdue solo adventure of her own.
The Switch 2 is coming soon, and it's priced at around $400, I heard.
Production, and Peach dons different costumes with different abilities to play various roles, if you get what I'm saying. The stages and set pieces will be just that, in a literal theatrical sense, so it'll be nice to see Peach
Weren't you a
flexing her dramatic
Slytherin?
range. Here's hoping it's a
Ooh, is
crowd
that...
pleaser.
No,
I
but
probably don't need to tell you
don't
that
like
it's
try to
exclusively on
remember the
Switch
answer.
because
Just
it's a
like try to
Nintendo
guess
game.
like what you would
Anyway,
think.
enough about cute princess stuff. If you're looking for an ass-kicking, mark your
I
calendar
can't
for
wait for
August
this
20th,
game.
because that is when the long-awaited
Wukong Black Myth?
Wukong will make
Oh
its
my
journey westward,
god.
probably to
That's gonna be
lead you
so
up.
good.
Developed by Chinese studio Game Science, this Souls-like pulls
It
from
looks
the
so
classic
good. I've been waiting
folktale
for this for
Journey to the West,
years.
which was the original inspiration for Dragon Ball, and which was loosely adapted into a video game back in 2010 in Ninja Theory.
The one thing I love about it is that it is gonna, it's finally a fresh breath of fresh air for like new, you know, myth and lore for like other countries, not just Greek mythology. Oh, it's an ad. Whoops.
But we haven't told them what they're playing.
Like I like that it's finally like not just Greek mythology, Roman mythology, but we're finally exploring like other countries' mythologies. And me being Chinese, I'm like, wow, this is a great. This is gonna be awesome. I get to see like some of these cool stories and lores come to life on Wukong Black Myth.
Solid Gears like set against the utterly bonkers backdrop of Games Workshop's tabletop game. Now,
Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Welcome back, welcome back. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about, Marzi?
Following the same Warhammer
Damn.
40k naming convention of aggressive word plus type of melee weapon followed by a number, there's also Hellblade 2, Senua Saga. The follow-up to Ninja Theory's 2017
Wow,
sleeper
the
hit,
graphics
Senua's
look
Sacrifice,
so
Senua
crazy.
Saga looks to be raising the bar in every possible way while maintaining its blend of dark fantasy and psychological horror,
Wow,
heavy
that's
emphasis
cool.
on the psychology. That's on Xbox Series and PC, but we do not have a release date quite yet. Also on Xbox
Yo,
Series and PC
slow
no
with the
hard release
16
date is
months.
Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, though that does currently have a release window.
Hey, yo, thank you so much, Slow. I appreciate you.
Considering this game's development was
I
put on
appreciate
hold so
you,
members of the
brother.
Ukrainian team could step away
That's
from
gonna
their
go
desks
pay
to defend
rent.
their country from invading Russian forces. I don't think anyone will fault the studio for
We're
the
watching
wait
the
or get
2024
mad if
most
the release
or
gets
biggest
delayed
games coming in
further. It looks
2024,
like a
and
massively
it looks
ambitious
like
game, and the original is a modern classic, though maybe
Stalker
not exactly
2.
modern anymore. In the time since the last Stalker
Looks
game's
like
release,
Resident
the
Evil,
actual
but
Chernobyl exclusion zone has become a
scarier.
tourist destination. From this
What's the
point forward,
J?
the rest of the games in this video do not have
For
a release
jokes.
date or release window at all.
For
It's
jokes.
the Wild West, so to speak. Speaking of which, one of these
Oh, wait,
games
hold on.
is Star Wars Outlaws, and
to
looking
do
like a
something real
space
quick on the
western.
side.
It's also wild that it took this long to get a game that could be described as GTA, but with speeder bikes and blasters and Jabba the Hutt. From the looks of things, that's what Outlaws is shaping up to be, though, to be precise, it's a Ubisoft game, so a more apt comparison might be Watch Dogs with Womp Rats. I am definitely not complaining at the prospect of an open-world Star Wars game that focuses on the scum and villainy of a galaxy far, far away. I will, however, complain if Bosk and Dengar and Zuckuss don't show up. Boba Fett's fine, we get enough of him, and Forlam I could take it or leave it. IG-88, he's alright.
Pushing P is still good for the year. Yeah, we are still pushing P. We're just doing it a different way.
Dudes in this game, please.
Star Wars Outlaws
Supergiant
for
Games has been
me.
chugging along for
Star Wars
over a decade,
Outlaw does
regularly
look
putting out
interesting.
colorful,
I was
deceptively
never the
complex
biggest Star
games
Wars
that have
fan. I like
consistently
it,
pleased
but
critics and fans alike.
I
And
like
80s
it,
was
but I'm
met
not
with such
like
a unanimously
crazy about
positive
it.
reception that you really can't blame them for making a second installment, which is
Yo,
supposed to arrive sometime
80s
this year.
too.
For any Persona fans rolling their eyes at the casual newcomers flocking to Persona 3 Reload, phew, I have just the thing which you probably already know about: Metaphor Refantasio.
I was never a
For a
Persona
brand new
fan, so I
RPG
don't.
in a brand new
This is
universe
not something
from a ton
that
of the
will
people
really
behind
intrigue
Shin
me,
Megami
but
Tensei / Persona series. If you want a JRPG,
the game I wish they would come out faster is
Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, which remakes the
Elder
beloved
Scrolls
GameCube RPG for
6.
Switch, and which should be a nice follow-up to the Super Mario RPG remake
This
that
is
we
kinda
got
cute.
way back in
Paper Mario?
2023. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is yet another
What the hell? What in the Ip Man is this? What in the Wing Chun Ip Man?
Is yet another remake that we got way back in 2023. Vampire the Masquerade
Oh.
Bloodlines 2 is yet another long-awaited sequel that became even more long-awaited after
He has
the
the
decision
power
was
to
made
whoop
go
your
back to
ass like
square
Ip
one
Man.
in the hands of a new developer. But the good news is that developer is the Chinese Room, the studio behind the Amnesia games and Dear
Wow.
Esther. So this vampire
That
game
looks
might
pretty
be
sick.
kind of spooky.
The skin of a killer, Bill.
It's the skin of a
If
killer.
the phrase Seiken Densetsu means anything to you, you're probably well aware of Visions of Mana, but if you're not, it is the first mainline entry in quite some time in Square Enix's beloved Mana action RPG series that got its start way back a million years ago as a Final Fantasy spin-off for the original Game Boy. Anyway, it's probably better known as Secret of Mana on the Super
looks
Nintendo.
vibrant.
Here's the part of the video where I say that I would like to get an HD remake of Secret of Evermore, which was like the
Super
weird
Mario
sort of
RPG was
bastard
the
American
best.
cousin of Secret of Mana that was on
I've never
Super
played
NES.
Super
I love
Mario
that game, one of my
RPG, I don't
favorite games
think.
of all time. I'm one of 17
Vampire
people
Karate
who feels that
Holy
way.
Mother
Thank you
Jesus.
for
Yeah,
listening.
for
Let's talk
real.
about games that are coming out in the future.
I was like, what in
There's no
the
shortage of big fat
martial
fantasy
arts
RPGs
master is
being cooked
this?
up by the fine folks at Xbox Game Studios, and Avowed looks like it could make a
This
nice
looks kinda cool.
amuse-bouche for anybody who's licking their
Avowed.
chops, waiting around for Fable Horizon.
Oh, I think
or
I've seen this.
Skyrim 2, Dragonborn Again, aka Elder Scrolls 6. Anyway, Avowed is set in Obsidian's
I want
Pillars of
Elder
Eternity
Scrolls 6
universe, and
so
looks like a fun
bad.
first-person high fantasy jaunt. And
I
based
will
on
lose a
Obsidian's
left nut
pedigree,
for
it should
it.
have some good twists and turns depending on what kind of bad decisions you make. You know, like a proper RPG. This list is not alphabetical, but Zenless Zone
Wow.
Zero has too many Z's in the title to not put it last. That is the next free-to-play
Zenless
action
Zone
RPG from the
Zero.
Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail team. And this one has a super stylish, quasi-futuristic urban setting that's going to be coming to mobile
That
and
doesn't sound
PC
great.
and probably console at some point. Speaking of which, Genshin is expected to hit Switch at some point in 2024, and there's a very good possibility that Nintendo might just drop a new console entirely, whether that is a Super Switch or a Switch U or something.
Isn't that
totally
like Wesley
else
Snipes in
entirely, probably with
Blade?
a better name. That'll
Wait,
of
what?
course have
What do
its
you-
own
oh,
share of new
yeah.
games at launch and
Well,
thereafter.
yeah,
And like
you're
I
right.
said,
They
there's
are
a ton of
making
other
a
stuff we
Blade
didn't cover.
game
Elden
before the
Ring
movie
Shadow of
even
the
was
Erdtree
made.
DLC is going to be a substantial expansion to an already massive game.
Elden
There are some
Ring.
rumblings about the next Doom
What?
game, possibly
Hold
a
on.
prequel expansion to an all other stuff we didn't cover. That Nintendo might just drop a new console entirely, whether that is a Super Switch.
Why
or
would
Switch
you
U,
wait? Hold on. Why would you
games
not
along
cover
the
Elden
Erdtree
Ring?
DLC is going to be a substantial
Oh, it's a
expansion
DLC.
to an already massive game. There are some rumblings about the next Doom game,
Doom.
possibly a prequel, and then of course long-awaited sequels like Metroid
Metroid
Prime 4
4?
and Dragon Age: The Dreadwolf Rises, just to name a
Okay.
few. But as of recording this in late December,
I played the
2023,
Metroid
details
on
all
the
of those
Game
are
Boy
pretty vague,
Advance.
so we can tackle
It was
them some other
amazing.
time. On that note, I'm going to shut up.
I
so
have
the
touched
wonderful
another
video
Metroid
editor,
game,
Crystal
but
Padre, can put the
I remember my
finishing
friends had
touches
like
on
the
this video,
Metroid
and
game
our
on the
wonderful
DS,
producer,
but I didn't have a
Amanda,
DS,
made it and
so
publish it, and we can all shut down our computers for the holidays and go be with our loved
Wow.
ones. I mean, right after I tell you to sound off in the comments with the games that you're most excited
Wow.
about in 2024, especially if I forgot to mention them. Tell us why you're looking forward to them. Explain why or why not. Use complete sentences. Your answer is worth 10% of your final grade. For extra credit, go check out that video